Okay, so let us take a look at angles. So when we talk of an angle is formed by two arrays or two lines meeting at an endpoint called the vectors. So if I have two lines, let's say I have this line over here and I have this line, okay? So at the point where they meet, this is the point where they meet, okay? So at the point where they meet, an angle is formed. So they meet at a point, and the point where they meet is called the vertex. So this point over here is what we call the vertex. So you take note of that. And this is the angle. So an angle is formed when two rays or two lines meet at a common point, that is the vectors. Now angles are measured in degrees. So for angles, we can have an example of an angle as maybe 30 degree. We can have 45 degree. We can have 50 degree and so on. So it's a small circle at the top over here, and the name for that is a degree. Now we can start by looking at the six main types of angles. So with the six main types of angles, we will start with the acute angles. So an acute angle is an angle that has a measure of more than 0 degree, but it is less than 90 degree. Okay, so any angle that is more than 0 and it is less than 90 is said to be an acute angle, and this is how it looks like. So acute angle. So it is more than 0, less than 90. Examples, we have 30 degree, we have 45 degree, we have 60 degree, and so on. Then we can also talk of the right angle. So the right angle is an angle that has a measure of exactly 90 degree. So if the measure for the angle is 90 degree, it is said to be a right angle. And usually for the right angles, if I have these two over here as my lines, for us to indicate the right angles, we do this. Right. So anytime you see something like this over here, it indicates 90 degree, and that is the right angle. Okay, so this symbol over here, so it is this symbol. That is the 90-degree symbol or the right angle symbol. So it is marked with a small square in the diagram. So as I showed you before. So this is the 90. This is the right angle. This is the right angle. Then next we can talk of the obtuse angle. So when we talk of the obtuse angle, these are angles that are more than 90 degree, but then they are less than 180 degrees. So they are more than 90, they are less than 180. So examples, we have 120 degree, it is more than 90, it is less than 180. We have 135 degree, we have 150 degree, and so on. And it is indicated over here in the diagram. Then we have the straight angles. So now these are angles that measures exactly 180 degree. So angles on a straight line measures exactly 180 degree. So as you can see over here in the diagram. Then we can talk of the reflex angles. Now with the reflex angles, it has a measure of more than 180, so it goes beyond 180, but it is less than 360. So any angle that is more than 180 and less than 360 is said to be a reflex angle. And examples, we have 210, 270, 300, 350, and so on. These are all examples of reflex angles, and it is indicated over here in the diagram. And then we can talk of the final one, that is the full rotation or the angle at a point. A full rotation measures exactly 360 degree. That is for a complete circle, complete rotation. Okay, so that is what we have indicated over here. So a 360-degree measure is a full rotation. Now these are the six major or six main type of angles.